Hey folks, Shrimp Fury here. This week I was going to try to do the Polish Mosing the Gant video. I've decided to hold off on it. I've got some new equipment on order. Hold the camera above the rifle whenever I do the safety checks, go over the markings on the gun. Last week I tried something a little different. I held off on the safety checks until about middle ways through the video, according to what the AI for the YouTube channel suggested, and it kind of backfired, so I'm going to go back to the old format as far as that goes. I'm doing this as a hobby, so whenever I spend stuff out of my pocket, it's not to make the channel more successful, or I think it's an easy fix that'll get me so many subscribers. I'm doing this just because A, I want to try to get over some of my shyness, B, pass on some of the knowledge I've got as far as reloading goes. I've been doing it for over 30 some years. Been collecting guns for about 40 some years, since I was about 11, with my dad's blessing back at the time. And just go over different odds and ends, teach some of the newer shooters and collectors and reloaders where to find stuff. I have to be careful when it comes to the reloading stuff, because YouTube does not like people being shown how to make ammo completely. So while I can show some stuff, it's going to be a little bit challenging to avoid the minefield that they present. So I'm going to go over stuff like maybe propellant. Can't say the other word. I'm afraid that they'll give me for that. I won't be given the charge weights or anything like that. Another thing I don't want to step on. And I'll give you a rough idea as far as what to look into, general purpose, propellants, stuff like that. Places that you can find brass, especially for the hard to find military surplus stuff like the 8x56 Hungarian, the 7.7 Jap, the 6.5 Jap, 7.62 by 54R. Now there's a few more making it these days. Also the tips for it, like the 9x18 Makarov, which is some of the stuff I got right here. I'll also be showing stuff about my reloading bench as far as layout goes. This is for my Hornady progressive press. I moved about 4 times in 2 years because of personal reasons, and during that time the press took a beating being moved around so much, so part of it broke. So, and I was doing a section called Tales from the Pond, but it's summertime here in the south. The heat and UV is pretty unholy. I could wear sunscreen, but I'd still be sweating like a dog. And this time of day, unless it's extreme, very early in the morning before the sun really comes up, or in the evening when the sun goes down, you won't be doing much as far as catching fish goes. And even if it, small fish, better than none. Look at the guy that does creek fishing adventures. A lot of the times he catches small fish, and he still has one heck of a following, and a lot of fun while he's doing it too. So let's go on with weighing up these hollow points. These are the 95 grain 9x18 hollow points. Are 364.5 thousandths or 10 thousandths from Prvi Partisan. Hornady used to offer these for reloading, but they haven't done so in a while. They quit making the ammo, unfortunately. I'm still on a partial box of the shells that I keep in my P64, and I've heard some good things and some bad things about these hollow points from Prvi. Now I'm going to weigh about 5 of these, write them down, do the average. I've actually got a calculator here to help me do the average part, because last time I was kind of stumbling around. So the first one, 94 grains. I don't expect these to be on the money because they're kind of a bulk producer. 94.2, that ain't too bad so far, but Prvi makes some of the rarer brass like the 8x56R, and they're about the only ones that do that. The bullets for the 8x56 are .330, give or take. 94.8, that one's pretty much of a flyer. And 94.6. Before Prvi came out, when it comes to the hard to find military brass, Norma was the only game in town. And Norma could be close to $100 or over a buck a piece for casings. And this was before the 2008 run on components and supplies that pretty much put us where we're at now. I would tell you what stuff cost back then, but I'm still afraid of YouTube gigging me, even though it's about 20 years out of date. Okay, I got a average of 94.32. Now the lowest, and I had 2 of them, was 94.0. 94.2 was the next lowest, then 94.6 and then 94.8. So basically, if I'm doing it right, I had about a .16 grain spread average across all 5, which ain't bad. Now these will actually expand like they're supposed to, and I've heard from secondhand sources that they can be a little bit hard to expand. It may not do as well. So I haven't weighed any of the Prvi Partisan brass at all yet. I've gotten stuff from them here and there in the past to fill in areas. Mainly it's hard to get. I've got some 6.5 156 grain soft point semi around those, which was like the close to the classic hunting load that the Europeans used in the 6.5 by 55 Swede. Sierra quit making the flat base 100 grain 25 caliber bullets that I like for my 257 Roberts, so I went ahead, got a few of those. Then I got these, the brass. I've gotten the 6.5 Jap from them, never had any problems. The 7.5 Swiss, very good brass. 7x57 Mauser, gotten some of those. I've never fired them yet. 7.62 by 54R, and with them being a former Soviet Warsaw Pact country, you figure that would be a very good one to get from them. But actually, the Yugos used 8x57 in their machine guns and sniper weapons, and they reissued Mausers after the end of War II. Evidently, Moscow didn't come down on them hard enough to get them in line as far as that goes. Now, they did switch to the 7.62 by 39 whenever they adopted the AK, but all the full auto stuff, aside from the assault rifle cartridge, was 8x57. Also, Privy's one of the few that offers full metal jackets and soft points for the 8x56R. They used a bastard .330 diameter bullet versus the .323, which was like the 8x57, the 8mm Lebel, and some of the other military 8mm. So, and the thing is, the original Austro-Hungarian chamber in the Model 95 Mannlicher was 8x50R, and it was a 322, 323 diameter cartridge. So, for some reason, in between wars, Hungary, Austria, and some of the others went to the bastard size diameter and screwed things up. Later on, whenever I get everything set up, I'll show my reloading bench. I still got to clean it up. I can't remember if I said that earlier on one of the previous takes that happened. I had some messages come in between the first, second, and third attempts to do this video this evening or afternoon. I hope you folks like the content I've been doing. From what I've been seeing, yins don't exactly like it, but I'm going to keep doing it till either yins tell me to saw it off, or I get the hint that there's just not anything for me to do in this anymore. But maybe a couple people get inspired to start collecting like I did way back when, and go from there. Well, folks, take care, and see you next time.